Hey Christy, so the first part of my readings that I've just figured out kind of how to run this in the most efficient way over the last few weeks, just because I kind of went through the roof with private clients. I wasn't doing many private readings at all like 3 months ago, and now all of a sudden I have dozens every week. So I got really good at figuring out how to do it most efficiently. And what I've ended up with, especially with the package that basically I'm converting my Mastery Circle members' purchases from the other week into, like you get the 2 extra VIP readings. And how that's going to work for you guys is exactly how I'm going to now be enrolling Mastery Circle students in the first place, which was basically for what you ended up receiving like in 2 chunks because you chose to do extra readings and then, you came into the Mastery Circle via the Intuition Mastery course early on in the year. Well, now at May, it's like, okay, we've kind of developed what we're doing. We've got our group going. We've got our webcast going. And now we're going to be gifting you guys a February 27 attendance ticket if you want it. It will be yours. There's going to be like an RSVP link for this class coming up. It's basically, it's going to be somewhere between a 5 and a 7 day retreat. I haven't quite figured out the schedule of it. But it's going to end up being that certification track completion / retreat for Intuition Mastery. And I've got a lot of details about that coming up. But that's February 2017. And because we're now able to add that, the only real way for students from this point on in the year to get into Intuition Mastery as a membership for the year that you guys are already in is to order the package is basically going to include all the courses you've got, the Monday night weekly master classes, which is now what happens for the rest of the year on Monday nights. We get a master class together. The interpretation submission stuff that you're currently engaged in the group is going to be in there for this new group too. But the way I'm running it, I'm kind of realizing that the best way for you guys to go through this year in the Mastery Circle is actually to get some private readings. So I'm including that in the package for them now. So I had to kind of systematize it in the last month, really, in a way that I had never had to do before in my business. And so you were one of the first people to book a 2 reading package. This is basically how the 2 reading package is going to be structured. I'm going to basically be able to give you the first part of our reading today, and that's going to be in video format. I used to spend a lot of time doing, basically a really in-depth like PDF file of individual pictures from individual readings, uploading it to a PDF, sending it off. And I realized that that was just a ton of time and delay and extra work. So what I started to do around the same time that I was starting to do readings and the composite reading trainings came out in the group, I started to work with the format I'm going to show you here today. And this is basically, if you order a package reading from me in the future, this is going to be the bit that you get in front, like well in front of our scheduled time to meet ordinarily. And I'm going to develop a set of instructions where it really just reminds clients that they need to do this earlier before their reading. But I'm going to squeeze it in here now for you anyway, since there was a confusion about the time of the appointment, and it gives me a chance to do this. Basically, if you want to just get out a pen and paper, I'm going to show you the images from the 3 decks of the 3 readings that I brought through for you. I've got a Celtic cross reading here for you, with a beautiful circular deck of cards. This is called the Circle of Life Tarot, and the publisher on the Circle of Life Tarot is Lo Scarabeo. It's a rarer deck. I don't see this deck very much. I found this in a New Age bookstore in Sedona. But it's a gorgeous deck, and it didn't come with a guidebook. Every piece of information I've ever found on this deck has been in a foreign language, but it did come with a really nice pouch. Uh, anyway, this deck just really called to me for your Celtic Cross reading tonight. So it's the one you'll see me feature in the Celtic Cross reading. Just wanted to I'm going to let you know the name of all the decks I picked out for you, just in case any of them just really strike your fancy. Okay, so that's the one that the Celtic Cross spread's going to be in. Then I've got this really huge deck called the Inner Child Tarot that I used. It's by Isha Lerner. Isha is her first name, and Lerner is her second name. And they're big intentionally because she wants to kind of have you play with the cards a lot like a child would play with cards, you know, with the approach that this is fun, it's a game, but I can't quite get my hands around them, and it's meant to kind of make you feel like a little kid in a way when you work with this deck, and that's intentional apparently. The size of the cards is for that reason. So I brought the two felt like a really good counterpart to each other, because what I found with some of the Wheel of Life Tarot's images, although they're beautiful, some of them seem to be pretty harsh and to the point and blunt, even with their beauty. It's a realist's deck. And so there are some very powerful messages that really kind of can pack a punch sometimes for people, and they can feel different ways. Awkward, fine. Sometimes you see the humor in the cards. Sometimes they can be a little disturbing, and that's just the energy that seems to be, you know, you're confronting a lot right now. So I brought that through with the big picture Celtic Cross reading for you. And then the 7 chakra reading that came in your package, I brought through with the Inner Child Tarot, because it just felt like there's so much harshness and so much transformation that's been going on in your life and is in process, that even though we need to see that reality clearly with the deck that we're doing the Celtic Cross spread with, the Circle of Life Tarot, here the Inner Child Tarot can bring a level of compassion and kindness and self-love to ourselves and our physical energy body needs, and just really give us a nice, you know, reminder that we are worth our health and well-being and balance. So that's the deck that just really felt appropriate as a good balance in a way, I suppose, for the Celtic for the 7 chakra spread. Excuse me. And then finally, for the 12-month zodiac spread that I'm going to show you, I used the Gaian Tarot, which is a really gorgeous deck of tarot cards. It has a companion guidebook, and I was actually very inspired by the Gaian Tarot when it came out, because the companion guidebook to this beautiful deck, which is by an author called Joanna Powell Colbert, and very nature-based images. All of the elements names replace the traditional suit names here. So water, the Ace of Water here, for instance, is it's a salmon, I believe, a little salmon, baby salmon. But the Ace of Water is the same thing as the Ace of Cups in a regular deck. Water, fire, air, earth are her 4 suits. So that is the deck that the Zodiac spread is using, just so you know. So I'm going to go through the images really quickly from all of these decks for you, and then I'm going to get this video out for you to review and take down notes, and then I'm going to call you back. Or if the reading time really got confused, then I guess we'll figure out a time to call back. Okay, I'll figure out what's happening after I bring this through. It just was ready, so I thought I'd go ahead and do it for you. Okay, so the first card in your Celtic Cross reading, this is the first time I've seen them, by the way. I've been laying them face down, so I'm reading it for you right here for the first time. And then we'll talk about all the reading results once you've got the information in front of you and I've brought it through on this end. We'll talk about what this is when we get on our call, and we'll also talk about all of the birth card data that you brought through as well, that I'm bringing through and sharing with you, and we're working with and analyzing. That's when we'll do that too, rather. Okay, so it looks like 9/23/67, so you are September 23rd, which means you're a little bit of a cusp baby by some people's standards, right? And you would be a Virgo Libra cusp. Looks like you're a little bit into Libra in all likelihood. I'm going to check your out if you gave me any other information there. 1967 baby. Wow. And so you're 49 years old this year, and it looks like I did the cross sum, and if I did it correctly, you are a hermit slash moon birth card, destiny card type, with the hermit being your primary, because the cross sum of all of those numbers in your birthday seems to have added up to 27, and 2 plus 7 is 9. So you're a hermit and hermit moon, and we'll talk about that a little bit on our call as well, along with the other birth card data that you gave me. Okay, so judgment here. Major Arcana card 20. Judgment is the you and for all that you are card that is showing up in the center of your Celtic cross reading. The Ten of Wands, batons, they call them batons, and they've got all the different names for the suits in different European-based languages here in this card. It's pretty cool. So the Ten of Wands is your crossing card over the Major Arcana card of Judgment right now. You're definitely at a time of like big creative completion. That's the big picture here. This is the root card. You've got the Three of Wands, the Three of Batons or Wands as your root card. One of the cool things about using a deck like this one came up, by the way, almost completely reversed. If you look at the central figure, he's reversed here. But of course, one of the things that's cool about circular decks is that they're not all the way. They're like just turned, you know, rather than total reversals. So they're neat decks to read with. Okay, the moon with a reversed figure, and the moon's actually showing up at the bottom of this image. Your second Major Arcana card shown up so far. That's in the near past position. Present, the Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands being the third wand. The only suit that has shown up so far outside of the majors is Wands, and here's the Ace. That's in the present position. Okay. The Knight of Pentacles. He's a really fun, friendly-looking creature of some description in this deck. The Knight of Pentacles, Chevalier de Denier. He is in the near future position. Okay. And then we've got, oh, hang on. I moved that one because it felt significant. Okay. Six of Swords reversed. By the way, the Six of Swords reversed has come up with so many of my students this week who got readings this week. The previous person who got this had this card show up reversed in the root chakra position. And here for you it's showing up reversed in the attitude position, position 7 of the Major Arcana. So this is only the second... no, it's the third suit to show up now, because you did just have that pentacle show up in the near future. Good, we're getting... and here's... Good, we've got another ace. You had an ace in the present position, and here you have another ace in the environment position. What this is telling me right away is this time in the present, in the environment, both of those things, new beginnings. Aces showing up mean it's time for new starts, you know? So it looks like a lot of this energy can come manifest now. Number one is also the number of the Magician. Ace of Chalices, which is the equivalent of the Ace of Cups in a traditional naming, is showing up here for you in the environment position. Hopes, dreams, and fears coming right side up. The Ace of Pentacles, the Eight of Pentacles. And the Eight of Pentacles is really about just getting down and knuckling down and doing the hard work of something. Hopes, dreams, and fears. My goodness, you've got 3 aces that just came up. Here's the third ace. It's the reversed Ace of Swords, which is a really interesting image of this little pregnant pixie teenage-looking person in this deck. But hang on, I'm going to show this to you the right way up. kind of hard for me to tell exactly where my camera is on my laptop, but this is definitely the easiest way for me to record a reading for people. So you've got 3 aces in that reading. I'm sure we'll talk about that a lot. Okay, root chakra card number 1, the 10 of Hearts. Now the 10 of the 10 of Wands was the crossing card in your Celtic Cross reading just now. Here we have the 10 of Hearts, or the hearts are cups in this deck. So you've got another completion card showing up in your root chakra position here, and it's one of happiness and fulfillment, and probably romantic fulfillment, for sure. Oh, and then we've got the Guide of Hearts reversed in the sacral chakra position. We'll talk about that a lot. That kind of correlates to the Queen of Cups in a regular deck. She's showing up as reversed energy. And here's another reversed one. Second chakra and third chakra are both reversed hearts. So this is probably indicating that you haven't really had good models for how to enjoy yourself in a romantic relationship that doesn't have a bunch of struggle and fight in it. So you kind of need to learn that. The energy's there, but it's reversed. And so we'll talk about that when we get together. Guide of Swords coming up in the 4th chakra, the Anahata heart chakra space. Guide of Swords is the equivalent of the Queen of Swords in a regular deck. He's Robin Hood in the Inner Child Tarot, which is kind of fun. And then the Child of Swords, which in this deck is Pinocchio, is showing up in the 5th chakra, the throat chakra position here. He's reversed. We'll talk about him being reversed. Okay, Child of Hearts. The Childs, by the way, they're the equivalent of the pages in a regular deck of tarot cards. And the Child of Hearts here, I believe, is Goldilocks. And I think she's looking in the window of the 3 bears, and there's all this lovely porridge and this lovely family in there. And she's this inner knowing insight Ajna chakra card for you in your 7 chakra spread. And then finally, you've got the 10, another 10. You've had 3 10s show up in this reading so far, and 3 aces between the 2 spreads. I mean, in this set of readings, there's basically 29 cards total. So to have 3 10s and 3 1s come up so far, and we're like halfway through reading them, just over halfway, that's significant. Beginnings and endings, and completions. 10s are completions and endings, and coming full circle on things, just like the energy of the Wheel of Fortune, which is kind of the result of an experience of your birth card energy. The energy that you feel the most at home in is this 9 energy, the Hermit energy of having the experience and then going inward, because you don't have much chance to do that in the external world, but it's really important to you. And after you do that, then you can see the big picture, right? And that's what the 10s always represent. Here in the crown chakra area, you've got the 10 of Wands. That's what it looks like the right way up. And the 10 of Wands here is reversed, but it's here in the crown chakra area. And it's representing completions and coming full circle on creative projects. It's the first card we've had show up so far also that is a dead repeat of your crossing card. Okay, so not only is it a 10, but we've actually had the 10 of Wands show up before in the previous reading as the crossing card. So it's like the crown chakra field is opening right now. That's the bridge you're kind of crossing. This 10 of Wands energy is coming in through that, and that's all happening right now. So now we're going to go ahead and do the 12-month reading really quickly. I'm just going to name off the cards to you from the Gaian Tarot. I'm going to export this, and we're going to get it out to you. Month of Taurus, 8 of Earth. That's the second time that the Ace of Pentacles has shown up for you. This was the Hopes, Dreams, and Fears position in your Celtic Cross spread reading. 8 of Air, another 8, only reversed, showing up for the next month, the month of Gemini. Then in the month of Cancer, we've got card archetype 20, Judgment, Awakening in this deck. This is the second time that this specific Major Arcana card has come up. And this is the month of Cancer, is it not? Yeah, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer. And that's the same as the central card was in your Celtic Cross reading right now. Okay, the Child of Water here in the month of Leo. This is the equivalent. Interestingly enough, she uses the word child instead of page, just like the Inner Child tarot did. So that's Page of Cups in Leo, basically, Child of Water. Three of Fire, the equivalent of the Three of Wands, reversed, coming up in the month of Virgo. The month of Libra, the Ace of Earth reversed. That's interesting too. I've also had the Ace of Earth reversed come up in either Libra or Scorpio for someone else I read for this week. Okay, the Eight of Water reversed. This is the equivalent of the Eight of Cups reversed. There she is, the right way up. She's showing up for, well, let's see, what month are we in? Leo. My goodness me, it's been a long day of reading for me. Okay, we've got Leo, Virgo, Libra, so this is the month of Scorpio. Here, I probably already said that. Okay, Strength reversed is showing up for you in the position, this is a major arcana card, of Sagittarius. Capricorn, Christmas, etc. Seven of Water reversed. So that's Capricorn. Okay, Nine of Fire upright in the month of Aquarius 2017. January, February 2017. February, March 2017, month of Pisces, we've got the Child of Fire. Lots of child energy, which is page energy, which is about learning new skills, apprenticing to new ways of being and thinking and stuff like that. And then we've got the Elder of Fire reverse showing up for the final month of this reading, the Aries 2017 month. That's what she looks like the right way up. She's the equivalent of the King of Wands in a regular deck. Okay, I'm going to get this out to you so you can make those notes. I'll do your birth card computations and we'll get back on the phone.